right?
Yeah, there's even a piece of contract relax there, right?
Yeah.
That you find you can kind of roll around on the glute with a lacrosse ball or a softball, and you find the area that's, really kind of causing that bite, and you contract. Like, you actually contract the whole muscle onto that ball for 5 seconds, and then you release and you let it melt. Like, you let the tissue melt so the ball drives deeper, but it softens. The point is, what I'm saying is that in mobility, in tissue, releasing tissue is about not even if you feel that pain, even if there's a contract, there should be a relax that follows, and there should be a change that comes. That's something deeper. And what we want for Nick is this, like, if I just fixed, and this is where I think I'm going to revolutionarily change the sprint world, is that if I just change his biomechanics, and let's say he was sprinting and he was having spondy, or he was having fractures in the spine, and I just changed his biomechanics, and I changed his front side mechanics, that would have a large effect, but it would still be susceptible because I never changed the integrity of his pelvis. I never actually changed his bracing scheme. I never rewired anything, and I never really got him structurally in a place where he could maximize what those mechanical changes. It's sort of, instead of a Band-Aid, it's a very, very, very effective stitch, but I would like to heal it with platelets from the inside out. I'd like to do something more. Right. And so if you take those two things together, granted, if you create a structural integrity and then you never work back outward to change the biomechanics, it would also, kind of reverberate backward. So it has to start inside and then go back outside. And you have to start your wellness within, and then it has to come back out. And I'm really wanting more and more people to understand that coaching is not a career. Like, yeah, some of us do it for a career. Yeah, some of us do it because it's how we make our living. But every single person in this world should be a coach in some way, because there should be something flowing in to out, and then from inside back out and outside back in, and it should be more of a loop. And that relationship will make you more well. I feel a lot better now than I did earlier today. I was freaking exhausted. So we were going to do the podcast earlier, and I texted Samara and was like, can we do it after open gym? And the reason was, and if I'm completely honest, as I look through it now, I probably would have been fine, but I didn't realize it at the time. Because the reason I felt wrecked, and I was lying on the couch and I just couldn't get up, and I was like, man, maybe I'm just exhausted from my week, because I have very exhausting weeks. And I got here, and Nick was here, and I had no idea that anybody was even going to be here. I thought we were just going to get on the podcast, and we get engaged in this, and I get to be well by sharing in wellness, and now I feel amazing. Now I feel great. And it's later. It's 10:30 here, and it was 4:30 at that time, and there's clearly a connection there between my wellness being the flow from me to others, and then others back into me, because I didn't have that all day. I didn't have that all week. Not all week, sorry. I didn't have that all day today. And I really didn't have it yesterday. So I didn't have it yesterday, and I didn't have it today, and I started to feel a little weird and a little off, and I was running a little low, and I misinterpreted that as a physical exhaustion, but that's an outward expression.
Yeah. And you can even look at the word inspire and look at that definition, and that, I think that literally what happened to you is you got inspired by this beautiful loop. Yeah. The loop inspired you, and that's awesome. And I often tell my clients, and I'm sure you feel this way all the time with people, is they inspire the hell out of me. I'm looking at them, and they're applying this one thing, and then it comes full circle in their life. Dude, this is crazy. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy, Yeah. And then we're both like, wow, this is awesome. And so it's beautiful. And I think I think it sums up the theme of this entire podcast. We've honed it in about 50 million ways, and we can probably go on and on with so many different examples of this whole Inside Out theme. That's the way of the world.
T-shirt.
Yeah. But anyway, on that note, we're about 80 minutes in the podcast. This is amazing. I think it took a beautiful direction. It went from something just purely mechanical and became deeper than that because we gave it meaning. And so I want to firstly thank everyone listening to this podcast. You are our inspiration.
And they're part of our wellness.
Part of our wellness. But I also want to thank Scott for coming over despite the fact that he was tired. And it changed everything for him. It changed everything for me because I was feeling tired too. So thank you, Scott Frost. Thank you, Wellbeing Podcast Nation. We love you. And I love doing this with Scott. Yeah. And it would mean a lot to us if you gave us a 5-star rating. On our iTunes. And of course, you can find us on all our social medias, all the Train Life Fits, all the Coach Scott Frost.
Let's make a commitment to get our Facebook up by next week.
Let's do that.
All right, so
I agree.
We're gonna start a Wellbeing Podcast Facebook page so that we can just be more connected with you all as a unit, and that it's that it's more solidarity there. So we're gonna make a commitment to that, and I'm looking forward. We're lining up a Q&A session for from an open gym session, or an extension of it here at Train Life Fit. Wanting to do a just open form Q&A, ask anything you want about wellness, nutrition, living, sleeping, habits, stress, meditation, training, anything you want to know about us. That's all in play. So really looking forward to that, and check out my Instagram at Coach Scott Frost, because I just posted this ballin' picture of Sumer getting on the water game like no one gets on water game. He has... Okay, I have a Berkey water filter. So a Berkey water filter, I'll talk a little bit more about this next time, but it's really great travel. It's non-install filter, but Sumer does not have a water filter, so instead he goes and gets reverse osmosis water, which is top. It's also a top quality water in a 5-gallon. I can't even. I don't want to call it a jug, but I don't want to call it a barrel. It's like a glass jug barrel.
Oh hell yeah!
And of course he doesn't put it in a pitcher. He pours directly from this thing. You're gonna have to do a strongman carry into a pour. So I just go check out that picture, because that's the essence of dedication to your water. # reverse osmosis. So. Anything you'd like to leave everybody with, or sounding off?
Oh, I think that was perfect. Our ancestors worked hard for their water, and I feel like I'm gonna have to work hard for mine, and I think I appreciate that more. But anyway, on that note, we love you all. Yep. Peace in. Peace in.